How's everyone doing? My name is Bryan Battle. I'm 26. I'm fighting out of Charlotte, North Carolina. How's everyone doing today?
We're good, man. We're good. Appreciate you taking the time. Talk to us about your start in this journey, man. When did you first start training martial arts, and how'd you get started on this path?
I got started training back in 2016. I was always a really big fan, and it was a bucket list thing. Like I was like, I have to have at least one fight in my lifetime, and then I started training, and it slowly just like turned into my whole life, and here we are.
That's
You know what I mean?
amazing. And so, did you grow up doing like any traditional martial arts or anything?
No, sir. No wrestling, no karate, no boxing. No, I just walked into the gym. It was an MMA gym because I walked in. They're like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "I want to fight." They asked me the same thing you just asked me. They're like, "Well, do you have any background in anything?" I was like, "Nope." So they were like, "All right, well, come on, start training. We'll see what happens." So. Yeah, that's how it got started.
That's amazing. A blank slate, I guess, at least. So, when you first started out, how did the training play out versus what your expectations of what it was going to be?
Man, honestly, I was surprised about how bad because in your head, you watch movies and, you always think you're going to be like the prodigy, right? You know what I mean? And so I just like, for no reason at all, thought I was going to be a prodigy when I started fighting. And when I started training, I was not a prodigy. You know what I mean? And so there was that initial learning curve, but man, it was great. I loved it. You know what I mean? People were patient with me, helped me out with stuff. Took their time with me. So obviously, it was a big reality kick in the butt, but it was good.
That's awesome. Did you do any other sports growing up? I mean, were you athletic at all, or?
Yeah, no, I played football and basketball all through high school. When I was a kid, I played baseball and soccer. So I played sports. I've been around sports. I've been around the block. You know what I mean?
So 2016, you go into the gym, you want to start training. When does it come? Okay, I'm gonna be a professional fighter. I'm gonna do this. Like this is it.
Probably way too early. You know what I mean? Like before I even had my first amateur fight, I'm training and I'm like, man, this is it. This is what I'm gonna do, man. And so, like I was in college when I first started training. I dropped out of college. You know what I mean? I switched jobs so I could train a little bit more. You know what I mean? And I had a pretty decent amateur career, and I was very confident going into the pros. And yeah, man, it was just, I'd probably say I started training in 2016, so somewhere a little bit further in 2016, I knew I wanted to be a professional fighter. So yeah,
That's awesome. So you said you were a fan. Were you a fan of The Ultimate Fighter? I mean, did you watch the show?
I love The Ultimate Fighter. My dad, he watched he's been watching the show since the beginning. I remember him watching Rashad Evans, back on the second season of The Ultimate Fighter, and it was funny when I was getting the call to come out here. Me and my sisters, we were talking. We are like, man, this is crazy. We used to watch The Ultimate Fighter. My sisters, they don't watch any MMA unless I force them to, but they love The Ultimate Fighter. They love the man drama. You know what I'm saying? So I was pretty geeked to be on The Ultimate Fighter.
That's awesome. So when they announced that it was coming back, did you reach out to be on it, or do you have a manager that reached? I mean, how did that all come together?
As soon as they announced that it was coming back, people were like, yo, they got your weight division. I was like, cool, man. So, yeah, I put in my application, and I was pretty nervous because, I figured everybody would be putting in their application. Fortunately, I have my manager, Jason House, Iridium Sports, you know what I'm saying? He really put in a good word for me and helped me out a lot. And, I did all the things I needed to do. My last 4 fights have all been finishes. I fight as frequently as possible, so I try to put myself in the best position to be selected to be on the show. And so that, I don't know why they picked me, but they picked me. So I'm very happy to be here.
That's awesome. Well, last thing for me, I mean, obviously, you haven't been training that long, right? But here you are, but potentially a couple months away from being in the UFC. So what are the thoughts? I mean, do you feel like, yes, my game is developed far enough that I know I'm UFC ready right now, or do you feel like, maybe this is kind of an experiment and see how it plays out? What's your expectations?
Oh, my expectations are to go on and to win the show and to go on and beat people in the UFC. There's guys I see fight in the UFC all the time that I believe I can beat. There's guys I've fought as an amateur that are in the UFC right now. You know what I mean? So haven't been training for a whole lot of time, but I feel like I've made up the difference with how I train and my approach to training. And I look forward to putting my skills on display very soon for everybody. You know what I mean? So thank you very much.
You mentioned about the man drama that can sometimes happen.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah,
ready
yeah.
for that? Are you looking forward to it or just trying to avoid it?
Dude, I'm not a very confrontational person, to be honest. A lot of people are really surprised that I even fight. You know what I mean? Like when I tell people I'm a fighter, they're like, "Oh, you're a nice guy." You know what I'm saying? But you know, I like talking shit, but like in a talking junk, but in a playful way. You know what I mean? So I don't really see myself getting into too much drama, but if someone wants to start something, you know what I mean? If they start it, I'll finish it, you know what I mean? But I won't be looking for anything personally. So if it happens, it happens. But honestly, I'd be embarrassed to be that guy that's in the middle of like a soap opera situation on The Ultimate Fighter, you know what I'm saying? I want to just be focused on fighting.